Hey everyone, how you look on the outside can actually have a big impact on how you feel on the inside. It can actually support you in what you're wanting to create in life, or it can work against you. Today we're going to dive into that topic.
We're Rebecca and Brad, partners in love and friends first. We've been married for 18 years and now we're deciding to break things up.
Join us for some honest conversation about being our real true selves in the small moments and the big moments so we can all create great relationships together.
So today's story, I'm going to share a little bit about my permanent makeup. Let me set a little context. Recently I got permanent makeup with eyebrows, my lips, and eyeliner. And I got a change in hair and some different clothes to wear that sort of bring out a more crisp energy in myself. So the other day, Tuesday it was, I had a rough night. I didn't sleep well, which is something that happens quite often. But I woke up sort of not feeling great, in pain, a little bit low energy, on the verge of just feeling a little depressed, right? I'm not excited for my day. I go to the mirror, kind of wake up and look in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, I look at my hair, I look at my makeup, and for one, I'm like, I don't have to do my makeup, which is just a small thing, but it's like, it's fun. And then for two, I feel like, oh yeah, I'm going through these changes. So I tapped into this like feeling of more hope and more recollection of what I'm up to and becoming more straightforward, less needy, but more like having an erect spine and an executive mind. So when I saw my hair on that day, when I saw my makeup, it inspired me to, I felt a little bit better. But then I went to choose clothes, and I also chose clothes that were less sort of in my old identity, more like new energy, crispness, and more sort of uplifting clothes. So then I look in the mirror again and I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel put together. I feel more energy. It doesn't change like how much pain or whatever I'm in my body, but I feel like more energy and more ability and recollection of what I'm doing. And then as I go through my day, I'm just started feeling better and better. And say 10 o'clock came around and I was just feeling like I wasn't in that old weave of my old identity, my old sort of depression and feeling of being less than. And so when I'm relating to this guy in the morning, I'm less inclined to like whine at him or need something from him, but I'm like have more upbeat presence. And then that continues through my day. And you could say these are small things, but they've been hugely impactful for me. And in those just small moments of looking in the mirror, it's like, oh yeah, this is fun, and I have less sort of tie to that old role that was really sucking for me. If you've watched any of my previous videos, it's tied to my old identity of low self-worth and wanting to look pretty for my husband. I feel like I look good, but it's not necessarily sort of pretty girl looking. It's more like sharp and purposeful. And that's the feeling I get when I look in the mirror.
So I imagine some people watching might be thinking like, well, you just did makeup. Like I do makeup every day. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what was it about these changes? Like, how did that cause for this in you? Because I mean, you could have just gotten up and like put makeup on.
Right.
In that old story. Like, what was the
Right.
difference?
I mean, and previously I didn't usually want to deal with makeup, or I'd wake up and I'd feel like, oh, I look fine, and my eyebrows were a little droopy. I never even learned how to do my eyebrows well, which is fine. I just didn't value that in my physical expression, but it's been a sharp contrast to just to have that crispness in my face. that I never would have guessed previously that it would have this much impact on me. And a lipstick I would wear for a date, or if I were meeting with a client or something like that, but not something I wore every day. So every single time I look in the mirror, I feel like, oh yeah, look, I'm put together. This is great. And then I just have a little boost. And that's been super, super powerful.
So
And
maybe you would say like the outer reflection in the mirror reflects better who you are or you're being now
yeah,
in life
who
than
I'm
it.
being and who I'm wanting to be, and sort of my trajectory forward. So some of what has been helpful in the changes I'm making is just to get my mind in alignment with a more generous, plentiful attitude. And this reminds me, like, oh yeah, this is good care. It was done in a ritual of um, self care and self love to have that permanent makeup, and a gift for myself to not have to do the makeup
Yeah.
and have to sort of look at my face if it was more droopy. So it's it's been a cool thing to experience myself,
Yeah.
and the new clothes that I got too, that just are less tied to old, I guess, vibrations or something.
Yeah. Well, it's been interesting for me too with the changes you've made because,
Yeah.
um, like if the first thing you did was, well, you did your eyebrows and lips, but your eyebrows were the most noticeable because, all you have to do is go back and look at our old videos. You can see the difference in the eyebrows.
Yeah.
And, like for a lot of my life, as a young adult and an adult, it's like I had the identity of, like natural stuff is better. I'm a chiropractor, I'm in the natural health field, like, I like organic things. And so like I had this tie up with natural is better. And that even would play out in like makeup with women, girlfriends I had, or with Rebecca, it's my wife now. Um, like that I had this thing tied up to my identity that a woman wearing makeup was somehow not natural, and it was better to have the quote unquote natural look.
Right.
And like I'm not like stuck in that now like I used to be when I was younger, but still, the remnants of that were there to some degree. And so watching her make these changes and how it's shifted, and how it's shifted your identity has helped me become aware of where I'm stuck on identities too. And with your
Right.
eyebrows, what like at first, I mean, it was quite different, So I mean, you kind of get it if you like if you remember what they look like, or if you look, but like at first I was like, I couldn't look at your face without
Yeah.
seeing that difference. And it was just like odd to me. Not like you look odd, but like it was odd because it was so different than what I was used to. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's all I could see, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm sure that this is not going to keep looking odd. Like I'm going to get used to it more at one point, and then, we'll see how it looks in. And then there was this one night we were hanging out together, and I think I was sitting on the bed and you were kind of laying, and I was looking at your face. I think it maybe at a different angle, and all of a sudden it's like like that lens of like that old identity of like natural is better, makeup's not good, whatever stuff sort of fell, and I could see your eyebrows from a different perspective all of a sudden. And it's like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like I see how they accentuate the shape of your face in a way that I would have never realized without having see it. And I was like,
Right.
oh my gosh, this like actually takes sort of the natural qualities of the shape and the structure of your face and accentuates that. And it was like this powerful moment because it was like I could see with eyes of like
Mm-hmm.
not being uh, like an open mindedness.
Yeah.
And so now, and that was a while ago. Now, like when I see you a lot of times, it's like it actually helps me remember in my own self to not just be like stuck in some old identity too, because I'm watching you like this visual, physical outplay of it,
Right.
and it's like I haven't gotten permanent makeup or done any of
That's
those
that's
things.
coming
Yeah, right.
next.
But just seeing you having do it is also having that impact on me, and just being a more real person. And that's the whole point of all of this,
Right.
to be able to be more real with each other, and in ourselves, and that's how we make good friendships.
Yeah, and to bolster the changes we're making, because they're changes we both want to grow individually as people and become more of who we are. Then it brings fresh energy to our
Totally,
relationship.
totally.
So it's
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, and like it's noticeable too with you, like to Like I don't see you make like that shift you're talking about. Like I wasn't there, but I mean, just like seeing how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's different in a way that's really like you're more fully there. Like you're more of like a like a
Yeah.
whole person there rather
Yeah.
than like hiding behind these appearance things. And that's what I was, referring to at the beginning. It's like our physical appearance can either really support us in the
Right.
direction, what we're up to in life, or it can work against us. And so I think being aware of those things, is an important thing.
Yeah. And taking care with them. Like when I choose like older sort of ratty clothes, I end up feeling worse in my day as opposed to like, okay, feel good. I'm dressed. I got, piece of jewelry on or something. And then it's like, I just end up feeling better and getting more done too, which is another awesome side benefit. So
Yeah, cool.
thanks for watching, and tell us, how do you relate to your physical appearance? What are the rituals that you do or that could be valuable to you? And how do you relate to this whole topic? And for men too, it's really also important opportunity and a cool thing to be able to change things up. So
For sure.
yeah.
All right, make sure to hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll be seeing you guys next time.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.